Maayong gabi and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. Tonight, we're very fortunate and again privileged to have with us a former city councilor of Dumaguete City and a practicing lawyer, Attorney Samuel Sammy Dicen. Attorney Dicen, maayong gabi sa imo ha.
Mayong gabi, Dak. Ingon man ang atong kaigsunan sa Tibok Dakbayan sa Dumaguete.
Attorney, salamat jud kayo for gracing our episode for tonight and salamat jud. It's been a long time waiting for me to be able to interview you personally. Anyways, Attorney, for a starter, let's talk about your relatively long career in public service. No, I mean, who influenced you to enter politics?
I think it was by fate. I was with then Citizens Legal Assistance Office, now Public Attorney's Office, since early 1980s. And as the office had grown, because our coverage was for the whole Negros Oriental, it came to pass that the province has to be divided into districts. And after some stint of being the district head at in Negros Oriental as a whole, I was finally exiled, like Jose Rizal, exiled to Bae City.
Okay.
And I am a homebody. No matter how or where I would be in a day, I would have to go home to my family. It's funny that since some 30 years ago. So, kato akong pag-atos Bais, I didn't like the idea. I was really trying to find out how to come back to Dumaguete.
Okay.
So I thought of, well, I might as well get into politics, if that's the only way. So I got the recommendation, the endorsement of the 30 barangay captains then. I presented it to then the late Mayor Tuting Perdices. Luckily or unluckily, the slate was already filled up. So after some months, I was visited by the late attorney and councilor Franklin Espina to deliver the message that the mayor wanted to talk to me. He wanted me to become his city legal officer.
Okay.
So that was how I came into the world of politics.
Now, there are other members, no, I understand, of the Dicen clan who are serving the community in various capacities. Can you mention them and describe their roles in the city, both in a public and private purposes?
I'd like to mention first my grandfather, Eugenio Dicen. I am informed he's the longest serving barangay chief of Dumaguete City. And if I have to go by the giving a road in his name, Eugenio Dicen Road, I would say that he has served well as a barangay captain in Barangay Batingil. That road which traverses from Batingil, Kamanhak Road and Kandaway Road. That is Eugenio Dicen. So that is how I would trace back my political roots. And then I also have an uncle who is a pastor in our church, the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I served for quite some time. So, and an auntie, wife of my uncle, former Kapitan Segunda Dicen of Barangay Kandaway. She also served a full term, 3 terms as barangay captain. And in fact, she was instrumental in my succession of victories in the 3 term that I had served the city of Dumaguete.
Mhm.
And then, sort of the Disin family or clan sort of control the water and power service in Dumaguete City. I'm speaking, of course, about my Agaw, Esperato, Sprite Dicen, who had served the then Dumaguete City Water District until it was converted into MWM or Metro Dumaguete Waters.
That's right.
And then presently, for some a year or two now, the Noreco 2, the power plant of our power distributor of Negros Oriental, fell into the hands of another decent. And I am referring to Attorney Pinky Tagli, Decent Tagli, the daughter of Sprite Decent. So more or less, the Decent clan is comfortable with serving the public.
Now, you have been one of the more enduring city councilors who served multiple terms in office, no? But the public would like to know, and I would like to know, some other relevant details that you would like us to know.
About
your other details that you might want to share aside from your being an enduring city councilor of the city, and aside from being a lawyer.
Well, as a member of the city council, I sponsored several bills that proved to be landmarks. The most significant of which had affected practically everyone in Dumaguete City is having converted the 3 major streets in Dumaguete City, namely Perdices, Real, and Cervantes streets, into one-way streets, which was not the situation before that ordinance. I sponsored the year 2001 something. So I would say it's a landmark because until now it is still being used.
Correct.
And fortunately, the ones who came after me, after some decades or 1 or 10 years, no, more than that, they came up with branches of the principal one-way streets, short roads, which was really good because as the years go by, we had multiplied quite a number of times.
Correct.
But I really see that Dumaguete City needs to have many alternative roads, and I think it is in the making. I'm referring to the road, the bypass, the road coming from Banilad, straight to Sibulans, then in the neighboring, in the upland barangays up to Banilad, diversion road.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then we have these roads to our barangays, like the one at Bahong Pandan. We have now the satellite market in the making. And this is going to help a lot reduce the traffic in the center of Dumaguete.
Correct.
And if I may add, if I would be lucky this election, I know that the mayor is determined to put up a seawall to protect the coastline of Dumaguete.
That's right.
But in addition to that, I would be posting very hard that in this coastline seawall, we would have also a road, coastal road, that would connect from Looc, what's the other barangay? Tinago. Tinago, straight to Kalindagan, straight to Mangnao, straight to Barangay Banilat, my place.
Yes.
And then we have inroads here, going to the beach in Kalindagan. Then we have an inroad towards the beach in Mangnao. We have one in Santo Niño Road, Banilat. And finally, we have another one in or at Santa Monica.
Okay. Now, sir, let me ask you, attorney, how do you keep yourself in shape? I notice you're very much in shape, really, at your mature age, no? I won't call old age, but amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, what would you advise the senior citizens who want to stay active in outdoor activities while staying safe as well, sir?
Primarily, I want to die laughing.
That's good to hear.
I want to die laughing, no? And then, principally, and almost every day, I do tennis.
Wow. Okay.
I do tennis. I run after a mindless tennis ball for maybe an hour or so. Almost every day.
Okay.
And that keeps me active and maybe this durable. At least up to now that I am 174 in age. No, not 174. 74 years.
May segue, ha? May segue. Attorney, yeah, all our viewers would know that you are a lawyer by profession. Now, in your practice, what is your foremost consideration when you take a case?
I always go for justice. I think I am molded by that because of how I made it to become a lawyer. My studies in law was financed by a priest, Colombian priest. And he and his friends in Australia took, or rather financed me, sent me the necessary finances directly to Seliman University. So every semester, ending semester, it's not me paying the Seliman University. I go to Seliman to collect the balance.
Okay.
Books, and when I took the review and the bar examination, still I had that support from this Colombian priest by the name of Robert Maculo. Then finally, when I made it to the bar, and one time he sent me a letter asking me to go to Manila, and I realized that this was for a job or something. So I had to be frank with him. I told him, I'm sorry, but I cannot leave Dumaguete. I belong to Dumaguete, and no matter what I do for you or whatever errand you may ask me to take or do, I cannot repay you. I can repay, however, the Almighty by serving the poor litigants.
Yes.
That is why I took the qualifying exam for entry to the Citizens Legal Assistance Office, which is now the PAO, Public Attorney's Office. And modesty aside, of all the candidates in Negros Oriental, I was the only one who made it.
Wow.
pass qualifying exam.
Right.
That is why how I joined the public attorney's office.
Okay.
But as I said, it is not my choice to become a politician. It was destiny.
Oh, yeah. Now, in the course of taking up cases, sir, attorney, was there an instance that you were harassed or threatened because of the cases that you handled?
Generally, I was the one who threatened them.
You're the harasser, huh?
Yes, I'm really that, no, by nature, I guess, or by upbringing. I grew up with a single parent, and it was a hell of a fight surviving in this concrete jungle. So you cannot survive in Dumaguete with a single parent and then become defensive. I always take the offense. So I think in my practice, especially in PAO, do not tell anybody. I have collared several lawyers. But there was one time about 3-4 years ago, I had a client who had a quarry at Sibulan Loob. It was about an internal family squabble when the business was good and making money. There is now this intramurals between them. Then to file cases, criminal cases and administrative cases. There were threats, but I've been decades in the practice. I didn't mind it. And then one day I received a call that our operation manager of the quarry business was shot by a riding tandem. Then the second message was through cell phone, you will ikaw ang sunod. That was the worst kind of threat I received. And really, I was troubled. I wrote a letter, made attachments of all the cases I have filed. I went to the NBI. It's not under the present leadership, no?
Yes.
I went to the provincial director. Until now, nothing. Not a word. Walay nahitabo sa mong kaso. I have to lie low. The case is dismissed because the one who was killed was my principal witness. That's about it. Threats and counter-threats.
Now, as a former student of law and now a legal practitioner, you went through the traditional school and court settings, no? However, because of the pandemic, there were times that hearings and even lectures are being done online. Do you think this has no significant impact in both learning and administration of justice?
Very significant and in the positive sense as far as I am concerned. During our time, we had to carry lots of textbooks.
Correct.
When we go to school, and then we have to go to the library to find out jurisprudence, everything. And then in a class of 40, you're lucky if you can be called once. But in today's system, the kind that we have now, first I was scared because I am really ignorant about these modern appliances. I was scared. And finally, I adapted, and I found out it is so orderly. You have the solo attention of the judge. You have the solo attention of your witness. We come up with this judicial affidavit, and we got rid of that direct examination. Dito na lamang authenticate by the witness the judicial affidavit, and he is ready for cross-examination. And the good the very good thing is in your pleading, if you are a complainant, if you are a petitioner, you put in all your evidences, you put in all your witnesses. So one or two or three settings, the case is over.
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
Now, if this were to happen in a classroom, I mean this face to face, I would have the full attention of the teacher and vice versa.
Yeah.
I was thinking if this had happened during my student days, maybe I would have topped the bar exam.
Oo, tama. Yeah.
Yeah, because of the focus.
Yes.
Well, it was when it was that competitive among the classmates during my time. Uh, I learned. I passed the bar. By the way, I'm not so experienced about taking bar examinations. No, I
Yes.
took it only once. I took it only once. That is why dili ko kayo mahalon nga abogado.
Now,
So,
yes.
I'm saying that if I were to make a choice, and then I'm given the chance to go back to my student days, I would prefer this kind of class. Really?
Yes. That's good to hear. Now, Attorney, what is your advice to law students who find it inadequate to obtain learning through online platforms?
They have to adapt. They have to adapt. You cannot be the master of events or circumstances. Circumstances are forced on you. So you have to adapt.
Now, well, during your first time to be councilor, city councilor, and member of the legislative branch of the city government, how was your initial immersion in politics?
I was exposed to lawyering for 13 years at the PAW, Public Attorney's Office. And nag-gladiator pa ko, maran ako, ingon na to nga, experiensyado na ko. And before I became a councilor, I was the city legal officer. So it was like me, the turtle being thrown into the waters. And that was very exciting.
During your incumbency as a city councilor, what was the most difficult political position you had to take?
When I was the chairman of the traffic committee, aside from passing the comprehensive traffic scheme of Dumaguete City, I pushed for other ordinances like the color coding. It was very unpopular. In fact, none of my colleagues, even my allies, have abandoned me. I went for it. I pushed for it because I was really convinced that the law of supply and demand applies. There were too many MCH units in Dumaguete, just roaming around, wasting gasoline, polluting our streets, congesting our traffic. So there was a color coding. My estimate is 500 units would the streets would be free of at least 500 units every day from Monday through Friday. And the loss of income of a pedicab driver in one day would be recovered in the 4 days, no, 4, 5, 6, up to Sunday, that he would be traveling. Because the passengers supposedly to be riding the 500 units which are resting would go to those who are in the streets. But I think I was thinking I was being futuristic. And they just could not understand me. So The ordinance was lay on the table, and then now, Dinno, they remember me. Attorney Dicin was right.
Correct. Correct. Now, now that you're running anew as a city councilor, why did you choose to run for city councilor under the Lupad Dumaguete performance team of Mayor Ipe Remolio?
I've been observing the mayor for the last 5 years, and I found out that he's a developmental mayor.
Mm-hmm.
I can see his master plans being pushed and realized. You can feel it, you can touch it, you can be proud of it. So I decided to worm myself back, or not back, for the first time, and sold my, shall we say my expertise. I did it in a way that he would have no choice but to take me.
Yeah.
I did all I can to become very useful to him. Very useful to him. And I think he saw it that way.
Mm-hmm.
He saw it that way.
Correct. Now you are advocating that since Mayor Ipe will be in his third term, that he should be supported and given a resounding mandate by the people of Dumaguete City. Can you kindly elaborate on that, attorney?
If I were hiring a carpenter and he's doing well, performing his work well, would I stop him midway? Would I change him?
Correct.
Would I change him with one who has no record? I would rather that he finished the project. If he finished the 3 terms, there would be nobody else to blame if the project is under quality. What do you call that? Substandard.
Correct.
He would be the one entirely to blame. But if he is successful, and I think he is now 80% successful, the glory is his alone and the people supporting him.
Yeah.
I want to be in that support group. That's why.
Good to hear. Now you are argumentably, and I'm very careful with that word, you are argumentably the eldest member of the Lupad Dumaguete performance team.
I'm proud of it.
Yes, of course. Can you describe your relationship and dynamics with your teammates?
I feel young. I am with them. You know, your mayor is very persuasive.
Right.
He wants me to be dancing and singing like this, young candidates. Unfortunately, I cannot just sing because I used to sing for a fee. Joking aside, no.
Yeah.
I have this GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease.
Yeah.
First, for a year or two, I thought it was cancer in my stomach up to the throat. But after some internal photography, I was cleared and pronounced that it was only abnormality of my acid.
Correct.
Along the years, I have some scratches in the throat, and I used to sing, especially in nightclubs, in bars, karaoke bars. But if I strain my voice, I'd go back to some problem with my throat. So I told them, and I think they understand.
Attorney, I'll give you this time your message to the gentle people of Dumaguete City, please.
Sa mga taga Dumaguetinhon, nakasulay naman na muna ko, nakatilaw naman muna ko. Sulay o tilawi ko usab dili mo magmahay.
Attorney Sammy, thank you very much. It was quite a conversation with you, and it's been quite a pleasure really sitting down with you and being my guest for this episode tonight, sir.
Daghang kay salamat Dr. Dinno, and daghang salamat sa ni Mayor A.P. Remolio for giving me this opportunity to be back in the world of politics. And as aside, I would like also to extend my thanks to the good congressman who was also instrumental in my comeback as a political animal.
Okay. That was our guest for tonight, Attorney Samuel Sammy Dicen. Now continue to like our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's Talk with Dok Dinno Dumaguete. So that's our show for tonight. I'm Dok Dinno. Be well.